Today, we're unpacking the tricky economics behind trying to revive U.S. manufacturing. You hear the promise all the time, right? Let's bring manufacturing back and boost the economy. But when you really dig into how the U.S. economy is wired, it gets complicated. In fact, some economists say these policies are actually doomed to fail. So, what's going on? Okay, first myth. Why can't we just decide to, make more stuff here? Well, because the U.S. economy isn't really built for that. It's an engine for finance and consumption. And this creates a wild gap between money put in and actual growth. Check this out. Recently, the government pumped a massive $39 trillion into the private sector. But the private sector's actual output was only about $29 trillion. So, where on earth did $10 trillion just vanish to? A huge chunk got eaten up by the mechanics of finance, not making actual things. All right, myth number 2. Can't we just have the government spend more money to fix it? Not so fast. That can actually trigger what economists call the crowding out effect. See, when the government borrows a ton, it gets more expensive for private companies to invest. And the final myth, that this whole thing is just a domestic issue we can solve on our own. The reality is, U.S. households demand trillions more in goods than the country actually makes. That gap means we absolutely have to rely on imports, tying us to the global economy. One of those pressures is sticky inflation, which has been stubbornly high. It's been 5 years since the U.S. has hit its inflation target, which makes planning tricky. What's really interesting is how the rulebook has changed for what drives economic policy. All this means the U.S. is walking an incredibly delicate economic tightrope. One potential play is a Trump put to calm markets, but it comes with some huge trade-offs. Which leaves us with a really big question. When economic reality and political ambition collide, which one bends first?